Hey everybody, welcome back to our neck of the woods and Vlogmas day number 11. We are 1/3 of the way through the month. And I'm not gonna lie to you, we only got like a few more good ideas and then we're out of ideas. So if anyone wants to see a video on anything, wants Aaron and I to go do something, please let us know because I only got a handful left and we still have a lot of days left in this month. Now, real quick on a side note before we begin tonight, just want to say, if you look like I'm wearing the same clothes, Vlogmas is not easy to do. So a lot of these videos are actually getting recorded all within the same day. So if I look the same, please don't think that I'm some dirty kid that hasn't showered or changed his clothes in 3 days. This has literally all been the same day. This morning, before the sun came up, I was still doing the smoke alarm video, which was Vlogmas number 9. Then I went into the RV when Aaron went to go do some errands and I recorded vlog day number 10. And now it's nighttime and it's vlog day number 11. So it's all within the same day, but you gotta do what you gotta do when you're limited on time and you need to do so much in so many days. And then also, this is just crazy. I just finished vlog day number 9 at like 5 or 6 a.m. today. I told you guys that we were 3 smoke alarms short. So as I'm sitting in the RV editing the video, I went ahead and got on Amazon, purchased 3 more smoke alarms. About 6, 7 p.m. tonight, they showed up. So holy crap. Less than 24 hours and we already have all of our smoke alarms delivered. I did not get the remote yet though. So again, the game plan on those smoke alarms, we've got one remote that's gonna be tied to all of the smoke alarms. And then I bought another remote that hopefully it works with the CO2 detectors. I'm so confused how the exact same remote can work with the CO2 detectors. And the same remote can work with the smoke alarms, but the smoke alarm and the CO2 detectors can't work together. They must let out different frequencies and the remote must be able to only like pick up that frequency. That's the only way I could think that they could work. But I'm happy that these other 3 showed up because now I feel a little bit safer that again, we can put one of those in the gym, one of them in the vault, and then the one that's gonna go kind of like in the middle of the whole basement area downstairs, I will put that one in the RV. And then tomorrow, when Erin wakes up, because she just went to bed, we can go ahead and test like in here. Maybe I'll call her on the phone, but I'll hold the test button down in here, hear all these ones go off, and then hopefully she tells me on the phone, hey, the one in the RV is going off. So that tells us that the signal is working. And just as a tidbit, I believe these things work up to like 800 feet away. So there is no problem distance-wise that these shouldn't be able to be picked up while we're in the RV. But again, we do have to daisy chain the signal out. So the fact that we know the signal goes from the laundry room and gets out into the garage, we know that that works. Now we just need to make sure that probably one of the furthest distances inside of the garage can get into the RV. Getting outside of a garage door, getting into an RV wall or, you know, the front door, and then actually getting into the RV. But at 800 feet, I'm pretty confident these things are gonna have no problem warning us inside of the RV. And then I did wanna mention one mistake that I made. I think I was reading the back of the CO2 detector and I said it works from -4 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. That's actually wrong. That's just storage and condition space. So the actual range at which these things can work is actually 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So I was wise on waiting on getting these installed because I didn't want to install them if it was too hot or too cold. And they actually say on the website that that will shorten the life span or expectancy of the product. So it was a good thing we did wait until we got the house warmed up before we installed all of these. And then the other thing says moisture will hurt these things. So yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a smoke alarm in a bathroom. So we're not putting one in the half bath, downstairs bath, or the master bath. It just would probably get too humid, at least on the 2 that have showers. That would probably be okay, but we'll have to wait and see again on the county inspector. We might need 1 more if I have to put one in the mudroom, and that again is just because there's a door blocking that off. And again, I don't know what fire could actually happen in a coat closet room, but you never know. We'll have to see what the inspector says, but That is the game plan and the update on all of these things. Absolutely insane that something can get delivered within less than 12 hours. It's actually not a good thing if you think about it, because that means that there's just too much industrialization and traffic and businesses and everything opening up. The fact that there's probably an Amazon distribution center like not too far away from us. And I know one is not too far away because Amazon workers come into the emergency department all of the time. They're sick, they don't feel good, they've passed out, something's going wrong with them medically. Granted, not everyone shows up to the emergency department for a medical emergency. They just need to show up, have a place to stay, get out of work, need a school excuse, etc. Happens all the time. But again, it's not like the best thing to have that much craziness happening so close to your house. We moved out here to get away from everybody, not to have everyone continue to like move out towards us. Don't really want that. But what are we gonna do tonight? Well, I told Aaron a few days ago when we did Vlogmas day number 3 that I had again mentioned how the temperature feels in the house, and that again, it's weird that we're showing 61 over there in the laundry room, 65 in the basement, but we're showing 65 up at the ceiling. So obviously the heat is rising out of the basement and it's kind of getting trapped up in there with all of the insulation. And the fact that it's only 61 in here, I would like it to be 65 in here. So I said, we need a ceiling fan. Well, what did she do? She purchased a ceiling fan, and about 7 days later, a ceiling fan showed up. So I haven't even looked at it, really never even talked to her about it. She mentioned the size, I actually forget. I think she said 80 something. So that's a decent size fan. Hopefully it fills up this space well. She says that she used the tape measure over there. And for example, this entire lift, I think she said was 6 foot. So if the fan blades go a little bit longer than this 6 foot, I guess, you know, you can tell the scaffolding's kind of up high there. 6 foot looks decently long. So if we get a few more inches as that hangs down, that probably would actually be pretty good. So I guess this is going to be an unboxing and an installation video, but let's get started and see what she bought us. And no, I did not ask her how much it was. In fact, I don't think I really want to know, because I'm usually the one who is purchasing the stuff and not her. So I'd hate to know if she spent like thousands of dollars on it, but I'd rather not know. But holy crap, this thing weighs a good amount of weight. Hopefully our brackets and everything that we put up in there can hold that. The metal bracket that I have is spaced across both trusses and screwed in. And at 24 inches, it said that it can hold up, I think, 95 pounds. If it's a 16-inch on center truss layout, I think it holds like 120 pounds. So as long as this thing isn't over 95 pounds, which it doesn't feel like it is, it'll probably end up weighing a good, maybe 25, 30. So it's not that heavy. So we should be fine on being able to hold that up. And of course, it looks like a black housing. Why wouldn't it be? Looks like it's made by Fanimation. Never heard of them. Sounds like probably no different than like a Home Depot brand or something. And shocker, the fan blades are black too. So looks like an all black fan that we're gonna be installing. So hopefully this looks good and installation goes easy. All right, give me a minute to get familiar with all this stuff. I don't know why there is so many wires. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wires. But one of them is a steel cable, I think, so this thing doesn't fall. So we'll have to like tie this thing up somehow, like kind of as a safety chain. But it seems like more wires than I need be. And the colors are not your normal house colors. So let me go through everything real quick, and then we'll figure out how to start piecing it together, and then we'll go ahead up and get it installed. All right, so it looks like Aaron did good. The reason why there's so many wires is because it looks like it has a receiver that you have to install. So this is obviously where all of the colors are coming into that are not normal house wires. This just gets wired up to the fan, and then it looks like you transition over to the normal house wires. So it looks like we have a light, power in and power out. So load, neutral, the light that's obviously installed in it. So it looks like she did buy a fan light combo. And then the remote looks good. It looks like we've got fan high and low speeds, light on and off. You can set this thing for 1 hour, 3 hour, or 6 hour. And then it even has, I don't know what these are yet, a house, a leaf, and a human being walking. I have no idea what those three are, but this is cool. It has a picture of a snowflake and the sun, which that tells me that if you're hitting the snowflake or the sun, you do not have to go all the way up there every year and flick a switch to get it probably to spin in the opposite direction. I'm assuming if we click the snow, the fan will blow in the opposite direction and blow the heat down. And in the summertime, it'll suck the heat up or the cold air up and take it away. So I like that. I definitely did not want to be able to get up there on a ladder because our ladder doesn't even work in an A-frame to get up there. We would actually have to bust the scaffolding out every year or twice a year if we wanted to go up there and actually switch that. So fingers crossed, that is what that button does, or else we're never gonna be able to use this thing in the summertime, only in the winter to again blow the heat back down to the living space. Uh-oh, Houston, we have a problem. This thing definitely needs to hang lower or else it's gonna hit the vaulted ceiling. And not to mention, it's just gonna look better to hang lower anyway. And it looks like this is the only extension we have. So we can go ahead and get the fan mounted up tonight and leave plenty of room up in here. But we're gonna have to ask Erin where she got this and if the company actually sells like 3 more of these. Or like, I don't know if you like put them together or if they just have one of these already that will get built out to maybe like 2 foot long. Because this like 9-10 inches here, that is not going to work. The blades are probably gonna hit the ceiling. So we'll mock this up for now, again, just to see how it looks and to make sure the electricity works with the switches. And we'll go up there and again, see which way the fan actually moves. But we might have to postpone on it to get this thing 100% installed because again, this length is not going to work. All right, first thing first, kind of straightforward. Putting this all the way down through here, pulling out all of the wires. And then there's a pin that needs to go all the way through. And then there's 2 set screws to hold this thing in. And then there's a safety pin that will go in on the other side so that this guy can't ever fall out. But this is not easy because the wire is directly in the middle and this thing has to go all the way through. So we kind of have to like push the wire, this whole bundle of wires out of the way to get this safety pin to go all the way through. And the wires in the middle are not exactly cooperating. All right, so safety pin in. We'll tighten down these lock screws. And then let me go get a wrench because it's got some lock nuts that will actually lock these pins into here. The nuts will lock onto there. And then again, this safety pin is here that this actually can't fall off. All right, next it looks like this cone goes down over everything. Not that anyone is gonna see this stuff so high up in the air, but this cone will cover up the bottom of this base like so. Now you can't see any of that stuff, it's all hidden. And then this washer kind of mounts to the bottom of this. So that way that will look like that on the bottom. So all of that will be hidden. And then we got this really thick base here that I'm assuming somehow we'll have to use bolts or something or screws to go through here and through here. And that will actually go up onto the ceiling, up onto the box. And then this guy here actually gets mounted to this mount here with the pivoting ball here going inside of there. So this thing can be hung kind of like at different angles since that ball will pivot. Again, this gets bolted to the bracket up in the ceiling, so this can't go anywhere. This ball can't fall down out of this because it's got a big metal retaining pin also. And then this guy here is really just to cover all of this up. But pretty straightforward. It looks exactly like the one that we did inside of the master bedroom. But give me a minute, let me go mount this up here and then we'll see if we can just hang it up and then play a little bit with the electricity. All right, failure number 2. It didn't come with anything to mount. So looks like we need to make a run to the store. This is the box that we have up in there. Again, 16 inches on center. This ceiling fan box can hold 150 pounds. and it can hold 90 pounds, 24 inches on center as you slide these out and make this longer. So 90 pounds is nowhere near the weight of that thing, so this is fine. But that mounting plate, it's gonna go up against the drywall and pinch the drywall, and I need a screw to go all the way up in here to hit that screw hole right there, and that's what that screw is right there. But unfortunately, those screws are way too thin to be going through the bracket, through that thickness of drywall, and then where this is actually up into the ceiling. So I need one that's probably 1.5 inches longer. So we'll go to the store and take this bolt with us, and that's what I need. I just need it way longer to actually go up in there, to skewer up in there. On a side note, since I can find something to do tonight, and I'm not just sitting in the RV picking my teeth, let's get the chandelier installed back up here. I took it down when we put the drywall on, and now these screws here that go down through the mounting plate and then go down through the base over there, and then these little brass guys here held the base plate onto the screw which held it to the mounting plate. They're not long enough anymore. So a while ago, I had bought some all thread, and yes, this all thread is not the right thread or thickness to actually install the fan over there. I was hoping it was, but it's not. But I had to get a custom piece here because now we need to thread this back up and through there, put a nut on the back side with only a 1-inch hole to work with, then another nut on the other side to kind of pinch it in place and hold it. And then we need to get the custom length to not only go the thickness of the drywall, not only the thickness of a furring strip, but also the thickness of our tongue and groove board that we're gonna do here. So I got a couple mock-up pieces here that we'll cut that will give us a pretend length that we need to go ahead and cut this. We'll probably just go ahead and cut it in half to start and feed it up in there. And then we'll just leave everything kind of pinched up in there one day, just so we can get some extra light in here, because this corner over here is a little dark. So it'll be nice to have one extra light on in here turned on. So let me cut this in half, cut that furring strip so we get the proper depth, cut a hole in this guy, and then we'll just leave this guy mounted up there for now. All right, phew. I hate doing that. Sucks trying to hold one thing up with one hand or trying to hold it in between your legs. That board obviously is not secured up into the ceiling yet, so it's just kind of a pain in the butt. But that gives you an idea. We've got to get the furring strips on going up and down that way, and then we got to put the tongue and groove boards going that way. That I still don't know what Erin wants to do. I don't know if she wants to stain them. I don't know if she wants to burn them, etc. But that gives you an idea again how that chandelier is going to look. The board is crooked right now, so don't look at that. But at least I got something done for today. So now, again, I will go to the store here in the morning, and we will purchase the longer bolt that I need to get the mounting plate up in there so that I can attach the base. And then again, fingers crossed, maybe the store, because that does look like a pretty common model, of tube and that ball up in there, which I guess I could reuse the ball. I just need the black metal tube. And I might be able to custom make one anyway, because literally all it is a tube with holes drilled through two sides so those pins can go through. So as long as the outside diameter is the correct length and I can spray paint it black, I can make a custom tube any length that I want. Again, as long as that outside diameter is the same. So really not that big of a deal. So when we go to the store tomorrow, when Erin wakes up, we'll see if she knows that those tubes are readily available, or Tractor Supply has, a whole thing of all thread and L channel and everything else. And they probably have aluminum hollow tube that we could measure to get to that outside diameter, and then I'll just cut it and spray paint it black. But anyway, I will see you guys back this morning when the stores open up and we get that done. All right, well, none of that worked out too well. The bolts to go up into that bracket or the ceiling fan mount, they don't make the thread pitch or anything long enough. So we got to kind of do what we did over there. I got a way thicker, bigger piece of all thread. We're gonna have to drill the hole out, the threaded hole up into the box, and then we'll have to put this up in there and then pinch it in there with 2 nuts. And then on the bottom, we'll have to just get a socket and bolt that mounting plate up on there to pinch all this together. And then of course, pole-wise, they didn't have anything exactly, and Erin wouldn't wake up and answer her phone, so I don't know what her game plan was. But we have a 1-inch diameter pole, and I think this thing is 3 feet long. So we can pretty much do whatever length we want. The pole over here though is 1.05 inches in diameter. So it's just a hair bigger. As long as the set screws can go deep enough and make contact, that will kind of hold it in place. But really, it's the retaining pins that you drill all the way through. That's what's holding it, so these things can't separate. So as long as the set screws can make contact a little bit, it should be okay. But then again, it's just drilling those holes for those retaining pins. That's where all the strength comes from. So I don't know how length or how long she wants this, but we'll wait for her to wake up. But for right now, I'm just gonna drill those holes out in there, at least get the mounting plate bolted up into the ceiling, and then we'll figure out how long we actually need this thing. All right, everybody, just got it wired up and mounted up. So I'm not exactly mad they didn't give mounting hardware, because again, I picked this 1/4 inch all thread that I got from the store, and it's just 1,000 times thicker than what would have gone up into that box. And again, I just drilled the hole in the box to open it up, put a nut on top, a nut on the bottom, pinched it together. And then that way, when we bolted it up on here, I wasn't like pulling or spinning the all thread. But that is extremely secure. That's a good length now. So then when, again, we have the furring strips and the ceiling on, actually these could have gone any length that you wanted, because they're all gonna be hidden up under here. And then as for wiring the box, super easy. The box is grounded, the pole and the actual fan is grounded. Up there where we've got the 14-3 wire coming from that switch and dropping down in, coming from that switch up and dropping down in, those grounds are tied together and tied to the metal box up in the ceiling. And then you've got, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 grounds down in here. Actually 6 down in here. There's the ground coming from the metal box, the ground on the plate, the ground on this, and then this receiver unit has 2 grounds on it. The metal backing plate and something on the inside. So there's 6 total there. And then all these other ones just get color coordinated together, and both of them on each side for the box and the fan were marked together to say the same thing. Now I did wire up these blues and these grays, or these browns. They do say for a light. Well, this doesn't have a light. The switch says that there's a light, or the remote, and this says there's a light, but obviously these are probably universal for the company. So these actually weren't needed because there is no light. There's just 3 motors, and then of course your black goes to your black and your white goes to your white. So let's give it a shot here. The remote also did not come with batteries. Luckily I had some CR 2032s, I think it was. And then yeah, the light function will obviously not work. So let's hit summer first and then turn the fan on. All right, so the directions say summer. It should spin counterclockwise. And it looks like that's what it's doing, really slow. All right, so now I guess if we hit the winter button and turn it back on, it should spin the opposite way. No, let me put the fan blades on and see what actually happens. I'm gonna have to figure that out. The summer and winter function is not changing anything. It's still going in the same direction, but let's put the fan blades on and see what happens. Well, it appears to be working, but this switch sucks. Going up or down takes forever. Trying to turn it off, it doesn't even seem like it wants to. It literally takes like over a minute after you give it a command. But I was able to change its direction, so now we are going counterclockwise. Or I guess it depends which way you look at it. It says summer should go counterclockwise and winter should go clockwise. It's just weird that both of them say summertime, counterclockwise. Airflow will provide a downward cooling breeze. And wintertime says clockwise, air will force warm air downward without a breeze. Now, when it was going in that direction, which if you're looking at it from the bottom, that would be counterclockwise if you're looking up. There was a forceful down breeze, so that should have been the summer setting. And now that we're right there, looking up again, we're in a clockwise position, and I don't feel a breeze. But let's see if we can crank it up 1 or 2. Yeah, it just takes absolutely forever when you hit the switch and like the motor ramps up. But I don't know, seems like a success. A little annoyed that this thing works the way that it does, but I guess maybe it's for safety.
This is not a junky thing.
How much was it?
$7.43.
Oh my God.
That's including shipping. It was $63 for shipping.
That is definitely not, I don't know, what do you think? Is that too much? $7.43 shipped. And how big do they think that thing is?
The diameter is 72 inches.
Oh, I thought you said 82.
No, this is 72, and then the next size up that they offer is 84.
And it's how much more?
I don't know.
Obviously the thing is spinning though, what I was saying. I do feel something, but with the summer going down counterclockwise, I mean, it was blowing all of this paper and everything around. So the summer is definitely pushing air. But I guess we'll leave this. I know that night after night after night I come out here, it is always 60.9 degrees in the laundry room. Unfair right now because Erin has been doing laundry. Although I don't know if she's been using the dryer. Yeah, 62.6. So we are picking some heat up from the dryer. But I guess we'll leave that running at a very low setting like that for a couple days. If, again, we're higher than 60.9, then we know that it works. But let me know what you guys think down below. Should we go for the next size up?
$15 more.
Yeah, they should be able to just give us the blades. It should, the unit shouldn't be any different. But I don't know, let me know what you guys think. 6 foot wingspan up there. I don't know how well you all can see it. Doesn't look horrible, but maybe a little bit bigger just for the aesthetics, only because the room is so wide. But nightmare of an install, day and a half, I'm finally done. So we'll see you guys next time. Again, let us know what you think, and we'll just keep on tracking that Vlogmas. Take care.